And the rest I just want to leave outside my door. Do you understand that, woman present? Okay, Charles asked me to reflect on C and D, but I think if you would allow me, I would like to speak a little bit more. Women are extremely good in talking, so let's just meet the men today. How many of you enjoy a glass of wine as part of a social activity, or regularly as in daily or with meals? Show of hands, please. Hey, lovely. No wonder the European capital consumption looks so good. In comparison, if I had a class like this in South Africa, I think I would have had a show of 10 to 15 hands if I had the same amount of people in my class. Just goes to show that culture is actually such a very important part of our lives. And sometimes we omit that and continue our lives on a daily pattern and forget that things that are so important, which is entrenched in our livelihood, has a ripple effect on the future generations of where we come from. Right. Different question. How many of us have beer as a refreshment? Show of hands, please. Right. Suddenly, the amount of hands that went up are far less. In South Africa, the huge difference would have been that I would have a full class showing of hands asking who's drinking beer compared to who's drinking wine. And not that I want to provide a marketing lecture or seminar, but the reality in South Africa is that beer is wine's biggest competition at the moment. In relation to that, tea is also giving wine quite a kick. I don't want to make use of the rotary language as I'm standing here, but we have huge competition within our wine industry. So we are struggling to get our people to drink, and we're struggling to get our ladies to the supermarkets to buy the wine. Now, something completely different. We in South Africa have a population ordering between 47 and 48 million people. That's the full population. What is the number like for Austria? 80,000? Is that what I'm hearing? 8 million. Okay. So we are many more than you, aren't we? But that opens up a completely different can of worms in itself. And with fewer people, you can have not better control, but you can expose people to better opportunities. You can allow people far more better opportunities when it comes to employment, when it comes to living conditions, etc., etc., etc. In South Africa, things are just completely different. You've heard now quite a mouthful about the difference or the legacy that we had to go through and the transformational issues that we're still stuck with. We are 13, 14 years down the line after our first democratic election, and yet we are thinking about what is not happening because things are simply not moving at the pace that we really want it to move, which is so vivid for any person entering the country and far more close to us experiencing it every day. So, in line with that, and taking population numbers into account, generally thinking in terms of statistics, just from the top of my head, we have far more ladies in South Africa than you have gentlemen. Right? And I'm not talking because they're good mannered or ill mannered. Ladies to men, women, female to males. There's a slight deviation, but we're about 52% females to the remainder up to 100%, or making the difference up to 100% will be males. So you would think, okay, so somehow we should have woman power, don't you think? Somewhere the ladies should have a prominent presence in everything we do, whether comes to making decisions, when it comes to the jobs, when it comes to being in a senior post, when it comes in managerial positions, that is simply not the case. The wine industry, we know, we have celebrated our 350th year of existence last year, isn't it so, Charles? And quite frankly, it was more a sore that was scratched open again for many of us women working in the wine industry. It is still white dominated. It is still being controlled by a minority group of males who think by the press of a button they can get everything right. Okay? We women, to some extent, and at least I can fortunately tell to anyone who's talking to me that I'm part of that few group of ladies in South Africa within the wine industry that will not take no nonsense from no man, whether he's white, black or colored. Because it is so important if we wish to make a difference, whether it's in our form of employment, and I'm in teaching and development, which means I work with students every day. If I want to make or be seen as an example, it starts at home. I don't need my students to go read in a book that it's important to shake up and make a difference in life. Because what you do in your employment sector is what you take home, which influence all the social networks you are coupled to, and it ripples off and entrenches in the community and circle itself. So, if we want to make a difference, our ladies need to stand up. It does not mean we are telling men take your bags and take a hike. That's not what we say. All we're saying is, listen here, we were good enough to bring you into this world.